Hello everyone, welcome to the Card Reader channel. My name is Marie and I'm the card reader.
Today I'm going to do a reading regarding the country and people of Iran. For people who live under the rock and don't know, I'm going to give the background. Iran has been occupied by a dictator Islamic regime for 47 years, and there has been several uprisings, but all of them were crushed by the Islamic government. The latest uprising was the most significant one since it was televised, and the casualties reached to 20,000 killings and arrests. So in this reading, there are several entities involved. There is the people of Iran, the women and youth in Iran, the dictator leader of the regime, and also the exiled prince involved, and of course other entities such as Trump as the president of the United States and US military are involved. We'll see if he shows up in the cards.
I just did a coffee reading on the same topic posted on my other channel, Turkish Coffee Reading. You can check that out. I'm going to draw cards in 3 steps. First, I draw some tarot and playing cards to give us the vibe and current energy. Then I will draw more cards to go deeper into the events, etc. And at the end, I will draw a few cards to give us final conclusion and the possible answer. At the end, I will give you my final prediction. How's that?
If this sounds good to you, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Now let's get into the video. Let's start with the current energy. The sun rises first. This card is saying that truth has come into the open. What has been denied, hidden, or twisted has been exposed more clearly than before. Confidence among the people grew enough for them to rise, even while danger remained. This card tells about the days and moments where fear briefly stepped back and courage stepped forward into the light. The sun promises that visibility will increase, and what once operated in shadow will be forced into the open. This exposure will weaken the authority of those who rule through secrecy. Beside it appears the Page of Cups, and this card carries the soul of the people, especially the young, the sensitive, and the hopeful. A new voice, softer than anger, but stronger than fear, will emerge. This page often announces messages, and here it shows that inspiration will spread quietly, heart to heart, not through a force. The Page of Cups brings a new emotional current. A younger, gentler voice emerge and touch people deeply. This energy soften hardened hearts and remind people of innocence, dignity, and what is worth protecting. Messages of hope spread quietly at first, but they will move fast. Empathy become a strength again, not a weakness. The Three of Swords reversed shows the worst emotional wound. Pain comes and pure heartbreak. Unity will start to matter more than division. The Three of Swords reversed shows that the situation moves away from pure heartbreak. The bleeding becomes a scar. Mourning will transform people. People begin to heal collectively, and this healing will allow unity to form in silence. The Two of Wands shows that leadership facing a defining moment. The situation needs a clear vision. This card shows that the idea of an alternative future has become serious and discussed openly, and also seriously considered. The Crown Prince of Iran, who is in exile, is seen not just as a symbol, but as a potential direction. The future demands new vision. A choice will be faced by those who carry influence. One path leads to familiar suffering, the other to uncertain change. Planning becomes serious. People begin thinking beyond protest toward the structure, leadership, and direction. This card suggests that the exiled prince as an alternative figure is being seen more clearly as a possible path forward. The Eight of Swords warns that in the near future, fear will still try to trap the mind. Restrictions will not disappear overnight. Propaganda, intimidation, and psychological pressure will continue. But this card also reveals something important. People realize they are not alone. The Eight of Swords shows that restrictions will still exist in the future. Dictators of Iran will continue to try to imprison people. Propaganda and intimidation will not disappear immediately. But this card also shows that the bindings will not be permanent. Finally, the Ace of Cups opens like a promise. This is a new beginning of the heart. Hope has been reborn. Solidarity has been deepened. The people remember why they are fighting, not only against something, but for something. This ace shows that love for the country outlived fear of the regime. A new emotional chapter has begun, and it will nourish everything that follows. Now let's look at the playing cards to reveal the current energy. The Ace of Hearts rules the story, and it belongs to the people. It shows that the heart of the nation is alive. No matter how much pressure is applied, the emotional center is not destroyed. No amount of violence or pressure will destroy it. This card shows that sincerity, love, and truth will guide the long-term outcome. The Eight of Clubs brings a struggle, movement, and repeated effort. The fight is not a single event. It requires stamina. This card shows demonstrations, resistance, and persistence, returning again and again. Progress will come through effort, not miracles. The Jack of Spades appears as a dangerous figure. This is an intelligent, sharp, and sometimes ruthless character. He represents the regime's enforcers, strategists, and security forces. Young enough to act fast, but cold in decision-making. This figure will continue to create obstacles, misinformation, and fear. But the Jack is not a king. He executes orders. He does not rule destiny. The Jack of Spades will act as a dangerous obstacle. This figure represents sharp minds within the regime, enforcers, planners, and intimidators. He will continue to spread fear and confusion. But as I said, he is not the king, so he does not hold ultimate power. His influence is temporary, and his actions will provoke backlash. The Six of Hearts brings the past back into the future. Memory matters. Old symbols, old promises, and old identities return emotionally. This card strongly supports the idea of an exiled figure. The connection to the past monarch becomes meaningful again. Nostalgia is not weakness here, it becomes motivation. The Six of Hearts will pull the past into the future. Memory will awaken. Old identities, symbols such as old flags return emotionally. The exiled prince benefits from this energy as people remember what once was and imagine what could be again. The Jack of Diamonds introduces a different young energy, clever, persuasive, and connected to resources. This figure may represent a new spokesperson, a financial supporter, or a strategic communicator, possibly connected to the foreign support networks. This Jack helps move ideas, funds, or influence where they are needed most. The Jack of Diamonds bring movement of resources, communication, and a strategy. This figure acts as a connector, moving ideas, money, and influence across borders. The court cards are seen together. The message is clear. The future will not be shaped only by old rulers. Younger figures, messengers, and intermediaries will play critical roles. The dictator kings begin to lose control of the board while the jacks move quickly between sides. From this point forward, the future no longer belongs only to those in power. The tower has fallen. A sudden, shocking event broke the illusion of stability. Something that looked solid cracked openly. This was not a small disturbance. It was a moment that changed the atmosphere completely. Now fear will spike, but clarity will come with it. What collapses will never be rebuilt in the same form again. After the fall, the Five of Cups appears like a shadow of grief. There will be mourning, regret, and sorrow. Loss will be felt deeply, and many will focus on what has been destroyed. Tears will be real, but not everything will be lost. Even in grief, something valuable will still be standing, waiting to be noticed. The Queen of Pentacles will rise quietly after the chaos. She will represent protection, care, and survival. This energy will come from women, families, and those who keep life going when power fails. She will stabilize what has been shaken. Resources will be guarded carefully. Communities will support one another. This queen will not rule with force. She will rule through endurance. The Queen of Pentacles will be the resilient, grounded figures inside the country, women, families, and community leaders. They will protect life, resources, and hope when everything around them is falling apart. They will stabilize the people and provide the foundation for the rising movement. The Knight of Pentacles will follow her, slow and determined. Progress will not be fast, but it will be unstoppable. Step by step, a structure will be built. Plans will be carried out patiently. This card promises that the future will favor consistency over drama. What is rebuilt will be stronger because it will be grounded. The Ace of Pentacles will open a new material chapter. A real opportunity will appear, not just hope, but something tangible. This may involve money, resources, international support. The Seven of Wands shows that resistance will still be necessary. Whatever the protester achieved will be challenged. The old forces will not disappear quietly. So defending progress of the people will become essential. Those who stand their ground will be suppressed. Then the Four of Cups will bring a strange pause. After so much struggle, exhaustion will appear. Some will feel disconnected, doubtful, or emotionally numb. This could be from both sides. The King of Wands will then step forward as a dominant future figure. This is leadership with vision, charisma, and fire. He will inspire action and direction. This card strongly represents who can rally people, speak boldly, and command attention. He will not rule through fear. He will rule through belief. The future will begin to take shape around this energy. The King of Wands could be the exiled crown prince. He will rise in influence as the future unfolds. People will look to him as a figure of vision, courage, and a strategy. He will inspire movements, not just speak from afar. He will rally hope, and his presence will become impossible to ignore. This king will not yet reclaim full power, but the future will place him at the center of the unfolding story. Beside him, the Page of Wands will ignite enthusiasm. New ideas, new movements, and younger voices will surge forward. Messages will spread quickly. Creativity and courage will rise. The future will feel alive again, restless and hopeful. The Page of Wands will be the new voices and messengers, journalists, young leaders, organizers. They will carry ideas, warnings, and encouragement. The future show them spreading messages that awaken others, connecting hearts and minds. The Knight of Pentacles will be the methodical, patient supporters, those who plan quietly, build infrastructure, and maintain continuity. They will not be in the limelight, but the future will show their work, holding the movement together through slow, steady progress. The Seven of Pentacles shows patience will still be required. Results will not come all at once. Evaluation and waiting will be necessary. What has been planted will need time to mature. Then the moon will bring confusion, uncertainty, and misinformation. Deception and fear will resurface. Illusions will challenge judgment of people outside the country who can't have access to the truth. Those who look at the appearances will be misled. The Knight of Wands will burst in suddenly, bringing rapid action and bold moves. This energy will be impulsive, passionate, and dramatic. Events will move fast. Some risks will be taken. Not all will be wise, but they will push the story forward. Momentum will return. The Knight of Wands will be the young, fiery activists and organizers who will act swiftly in the streets. They will move quickly, courageously, and sometimes recklessly, but their energy will push events forward. Finally, the Seven of Cups appear, showing many possible futures opening at once. Choices will multiply. Promises, visions, and distractions will compete for attention. Not every option will be real. Discernment will be critical. The future will offer many paths. Taken together, this spread shows the road ahead clearly. There will be collapse, grief, rebuilding, resistance, confusion, and finally, choice for a leadership. The old world will fall. A new structure will rise slowly. A leader will emerge. The people will regain dignity, and then at last the future will ask a single question. Which vision will be chosen? In this spread, the kings, queens, knights, and pages speak clearly of the people who will shape the future. The King of Wands will rise to authority. The Queen of Pentacles will protect the foundations. The knights will act, and the page will bring the ideas that spark wider change. The future will make it clear. These people will not act in isolation. Their paths will cross, clash, and support each other. The old ruler will remain threatening, but the cards show that he will face coordinated forces that he cannot fully control. The people, the exiled leader, the activists, and the organizers will create a momentum that will be unstoppable only if patience and courage are maintained. The future will unfold with powerful shifts, surprise actions, and moments when the people's choice will define the next chapter. The King of Wands will rise. The Queen of Pentacles will hold the line, and the knights and page will carry the fire forward. The dictator will lose momentum, and his tower of power will collapse in a shocking upheaval. Sorrow will follow, but from it will rise a grounded protector-like figure in exile who will help guide the nation towards stability. Quiet organizers will prepare the soil, and an opportunity for real, tangible rebuilding will emerge. Fierce resistance from old powers of dictatorship will try to keep control, but there will be a wave of youthful spirit and new leadership. The US president will play a bold role in shaping global pressure. Independence and dignity will grow steadily. There will be uncertainty and illusion along the path. The collective choice will lead toward a future of freedom and new possibility. Let's look at playing cards for deeper information. The Seven of Diamonds signal that financial resources and material support, or lack thereof, will be important. Money and logistics will move, sometimes unevenly, but eventually the people who plan and organize will find exactly what is needed to sustain momentum. The flow of support will be fragile, but it will arrive when most needed, and it will tip the balance of events in subtle yet decisive ways. Then the Four of Spades and Eight of Spades will appear together, showing a struggle, restriction, and obstacles. The old regime will continue to strike through surveillance, intimidation, and attempts to trap dissenters. The Three of Spades talks about heartbreak and losses along the path. There will be setbacks and moments when grief feels overwhelming. Some sacrifices their lives. Mourning will shape the courage of the people. The Eight of Clubs signals repeated effort and persistence. The energy of action will continue, carried by organizers, activists, and communities. Movement will accelerate in waves, sometimes chaotic, sometimes structured, but always forward. Momentum will grow despite obstacles, and repeated efforts will slowly wear down fear. The Queen of Spades will be a pivotal female figure, likely representing Iranian women leaders, activists, or courageous figures in the movement. The future shows that her insight and guidance will protect lives, coordinate actions, and reveal the truths. She will be decisive where others hesitate, and her actions will tip events in favor of survival and progress. Six of Hearts will bring reconciliation and alliances. People and communities will find ways to support each other. Hearts' energy will amplify the Queen of Spades' work. Coordinated networks of women and families will anchor the future emotionally and practically. The Two of Clubs is about planning and decision making. Strategic choices will determine which efforts succeed, and those who act with foresight will shape the new landscape of power. This card will reflect the work of planners and organizers, the behind-the-scenes energy that will make revolutions practical, not just symbolic. The Four of Hearts, Three of Hearts, and Five of Hearts together show that emotional bonds, solidarity, and community resilience will dominate the coming months. Love, loyalty, and shared purpose will become the foundation of strength and help the people to endure pressure, loss, and fear. These energies promise that compassion will fuel action. The Five of Diamonds shows competition for resources and struggles in logistics. The reading tells a vivid truth. The women in Iran, alongside the exiled leader, young activists, and careful organizers, will be the backbone of change. Their foresight, courage, and unbreakable hearts will be decisive in the coming chapters, turning grief and chaos into a structured resistance and eventual hope. Okay, let's see the final chapter, the ultimate conclusion of the story. High priestess emerges, bringing deep intuition, hidden knowledge and insight. Secrets that were once buried will be revealed, and the people will see truths that have been hidden by fear, deception, and shadow. The high priestess will guide those who listen to inner wisdom, showing paths that cannot be seen by the eye alone. The lovers will follow, showing that choices of immense consequence will define the nation's destiny. Alliances will be forged and unity will be required. Decisions between two paths of compromise or courage will shape the political and moral future. The people will feel the weight of responsibility, and the alignment of hearts and intentions will become decisive. This card shows that the collective will guide the final outcomes. The King of Cups could be the exiled leader, Reza Pahlavi, who will act with wisdom, diplomacy, and compassion. His emotional intelligence and ability to mediate between people and powers will stabilize the future, showing true leadership. He will be the calm in the storm, with courage and measured action. The King of Pentacles will symbolize the emergence of strong, practical, and grounded leadership, perhaps US president. He will help Iranian people to rebuild structures, restore resources, and achieve victory in ways that make freedom sustainable. He will ensure that prosperity and stability will follow. The Hermit will show a period of reflection, introspection, and careful observation. The people, the leaders, and the movement will step back to consolidate wisdom, to learn from experience and avoiding past mistakes. This shows that at the end, strategy will be needed. Insight will be needed to guide the people to the final phases of transformation and help them to be the architect of their future. The Two of Spades indicate decisions and difficult choices will be ahead, and only clarity of purpose will allow progress without unnecessary conflict. The Four of Spades predict that obstacles and restrictions will continue. But the Five of Hearts confirms that love, loyalty, and solidarity will be the foundation of the final outcome, keeping hearts united and spirits unbroken. So, all these cards show a future of profound transformation and renewal. The dictatorship will lose its grip. Chaos and grief will be healed through insight, patience, and a strategic action, and the nation will move toward stability and order. Leadership will be wise, practical, and compassionate. Outside help, such as help from USA, will strengthen the movement and the country. These cards are telling a story of survival and renewal. The oppressed will rise. A new leadership will guide with heart and wisdom, and the nation will step into a new era of stability, freedom, and dignity. My interpretation and prediction is as follows. The Islamic regime is in its last legs. One way or the other, it collapses. And unfortunately, there will be many casualties of innocent Iranian people along the way. Trump was planning to attack the military sections and or the leaders of the regime. However, it takes time for the military resources, ships, tankers, etc. to reach the region. In the meantime, Trump attempts to deal with the regime with diplomacy. However, the Islamic leader and the dictator in Iran are so full that taunt Trump verbally. I bet it won't go unnoticed. I see two scenarios here. One, Trump attacks the regime and its heads of state militarily. It will result to a big wound and ultimately defeat of the Islamic government. Two, Trump blinks or hesitates. Islamic regime will feel empowered and think they got away with everything. I see that the Islamic regime will attempt to assassinate Trump. In this case, the US military will annihilate the Islamic regime to the ground. In both scenarios, the Islamic regime is done and finished. Unfortunately, there will be casualties in the midst of all these confrontations, which is the most saddest part of the story. If you look at my past videos, the Turkish Coffee Reader channel, as well as the Card Reader channel, I was right about my predictions about Trump. I also am right about the fate of Collective in 2026. You can rewatch that video, which is posted in Turkish Coffee Reader channel. I'm pretty certain that my prediction will come true. So far, the cards confirm that. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And share the video with whomever needs to hear the message. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.